What's up everybody, this is David Jagneaux from MMORPG.com. You've probably not heard my voice before, as I am one of the newest writers and video content creators here at MMORPG, and my first video is for Spellforce 2 Demons of the Past. This is a standalone expansion to Spellforce 2, a game that originally came out in 2006. It is also the third and final piece of expansion content for Spellforce 2, which finally concludes the story. As I said, the game originally came out in 2006, so the engine is pretty dated now, and you can definitely tell when you're playing, not just visually but also mechanically. But I'm going to show you the game and show you what it has to offer. There are 6 tutorials that you can watch, but they really don't teach you anything that you shouldn't know already just based on playing games before. Things like clicking on your character, moving around, how to click buttons in the overlay interface, really basic stuff. It doesn't actually teach you much about the mechanics of the game once you get farther in, and it doesn't even explain what some of the most basic items on the screen do. But you can watch them just to learn the very, very, very bare basics. They're very short and they don't allow you to interact at all. You just watch videos.
In the center of the screen, you can see your in-game character, the avatar that represents you in the game. Select him with the left mouse button.
I can't actually do anything here.
Selected characters are marked by a colored circle around them. Your own characters have green circles. Friendly or neutral NPCs have blue ones, and enemy characters are shown in red circles.
Alright, thanks.
On the bottom left,
once you're done getting that extremely valuable education from the tutorials, you have some different game modes to choose from. You have your standard single-player stuff, campaign mode, which wraps up the single-player storyline, a mixture of RPG and RTS elements. Starts out very, very RPG heavily leaning, then transitions more into RTS once you get into the bigger battles. Skirmish, which is almost entirely RTS themed. Different maps you pick from, battle against the computer. Then you have Domination, which is like Skirmish, but instead you're fighting over a central territory for the most part. Free Game is kind of a mixture of the campaign and Skirmish. There are different maps with different objectives. There are quest-based games, RPG, RTS themed games. Then Survival Mode, which is just, you know, trying to survive for as long as you can. Kind of limited resources, more difficult. That's it for single player. Then you can play LAN, local games, and multiplayer and internet-based games. You can also save your replays and record games, which is kind of a cool feature if you don't have a video capture device or service that you use or program. You know, kind of a cool little addition, I guess. But now I'm going to show you some of the actual gameplay. First, we'll look at the campaign so you can get a taste of that. Here we go. This is what the game looks like in action. It's pretty friendly and familiar to people that have played RTSs before. It's clearly, you know, not the greatest graphics engine. As I said, it's based on a game that came out in 2006, so it definitely is showing its age. And I don't think, you know, you should really expect much from a game that's kind of at this point. Oh, here you go. You get a chance to see some combat. Let's go ahead and attack this guy. He's trying to sneak over here and attack our headquarters. Not while David is on watch. Sorry, Maximus. That's the name of my hero. I forgot. As you can see right here in the hero panel, they have different abilities. You know, I'm selecting this guy here, Kane. He's some type of wizard. He's a friend of the main character from the previous games. Then I got this guy that I hired, Necros, who is also a wizard, funny enough. And then my main guy, Maximus. As you can see, you know, you do get to level up. Going here, you know, I see my equipment menu. I've got inventory. I've got the spell book that has all my different abilities. I've got my skill tree, so it's split up into combat, Shaikan, and magic. This is a pretty early save game that I loaded up to show you guys. It's not too far into the game. It's maybe an hour into the first mission. Well, that guy has a pretty sick sword. I never noticed that. That is nice. Wow, okay. Yeah, see, once you zoom in, the character models, I mean, they don't look terrible. They just don't look that great by, you know, modern standards. You know, it's an RTS, so you can't expect too much when you zoom in like that, but even the textures, I mean, the ground looks kind of poor. I do like the trees, you know, graphically. You know, it's a weird thing to focus on, but I do think the trees look pretty good. The way they sway and everything, it looks pretty nice. Yeah, so I'm in the campaign right now. You can see up here in my quest book, I have a mission. You know, I'm supposed to be saving the people, escorting refugees, all that kind of stuff. This is, as I said, one of the earliest missions. My guys are level 5 and 6 and that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's an RTS, but it just has RPG elements mixed in, which get lost. To be quite frank, one of the biggest flaws I saw is that whenever I'm playing, if one of my heroes dies, or if my main hero dies in battle, then it's game over. So then it becomes kind of like a VIP I have with me, and I'm reluctant to ever use them in battle because I don't want to risk them dying, so I end up just using my regular forces. Okay, so right here we are in the survival mode. Here's my hero, MMO Thought it was a clever name, punny. It's less funny now that I say it out loud. But what you do here in the survival mode is, as you play and as you're fighting these waves of enemies that come in, you'll get experience points and you level up with your hero character, who has the ability here, as you can see, to spawn more allies, to spawn more units that you can then place at these different junctures. Here in this map that I chose, there are 4 different entry points, as you can see. So you want to kind of strategically space out your units so that you can prepare yourself for where they're going to be coming from. And as you can see there, I did just receive, you do get some items here even while you're playing in the survival mode that would behoove you to equip, and it kind of gives you some bonuses and that kind of thing. And, you know, here I'm gonna place some more units there. These guys seem to be doing fairly well. They are kind of suffering a little bit, but yeah, you just kind of play through and you kind of have to try to survive. It takes away some of the base management type stuff that you see in a lot of other RTS game modes in the game, such as skirmish and that kind of thing. It makes you more, it's more action oriented. You get right to the action faster. I'm definitely not very good at this mode. I've noticed that it's a little bit too loose for my liking. I tend to kind of suck at it, to be honest. That's how I usually am with most survival-based modes. But this one, you know, it's cool. It adds a little bit extra dimension, new things to do that you probably don't get to see in most other RTS games, and it still has kind of the RPG elements as well. As you level up, you get different abilities. Now, quickly, before this video ends, I do want to show you here at the very beginning of the game in the campaign mode, just to give you a taste of what the dialogue is like. Just so you can see a close-up of those character animations and the kind of voiceovers. This is some of the first stuff you see in the game, so it doesn't really give you a very good first impression.
How can I be of assistance, Venerable Elder?
Lieutenant Pike, what's the situation?
The undead are...
Look at the size of their hands in comparison to the rest of their body. It's like an extra torso.
What about the civilians?
Most of them are safe for now.
I have the dialogue volume turned down quite a bit just so it doesn't interfere with the quality of the video, but
They're ready for your...
the voice acting quality it's fine, it's passable, but having to sit through dialogue like this to deliver the story to you, it really does kind of break up the rest of the game. You know, an RTS game isn't really built, the engine isn't designed to support this kind of stuff, and it's, you know, they're obviously trying to portray the RPG elements more, but it really doesn't come off as something very good. You know, here you're supposed to pick from these different characters. their personalities are all very different, but it doesn't really matter. That pretty much wraps things up for this quick impressions video about Spellforce 2 Demons of the Past. For the full review over on MMORPG.com, you can check the description down below for that link. It'll have my full thoughts on the game. This video is just based pretty early on, with only my first couple of hours experiencing it, so you'll have to check the review for my full and final opinion. But I would say, based on my first impression, it does not seem to be a game for everyone. If you're a big Spellforce fan, then I could see why you would be interested in purchasing this just to see the conclusion of the story. Otherwise, I would probably stay away. There are better games out there that do the same thing that this game does in different ways, more efficiently, and I can't really say that I would recommend it necessarily. Overall, the game, you know, it has some good elements, but it's so dated, and there are better things out there. I hope you enjoyed this first impressions video. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and hopefully you'll see more videos and more reviews from me soon. Thanks for watching.